YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you with another J Talks Crypto. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification. I'm on a mission to hit 100,000, and I can't do that without you guys. Today we're going to talk about some Bitcoin. We're going to talk about some Toshi Coin. You guys can see the total market cap coming in at 3.3. The agreed index looking pretty solid now, down at a 69. We need it to go a little bit more down, but I'm not too mad at this. We're talking about how the market was just so greedy, right? Just a little bit too greedy for me, in my opinion. But we want to know if this is going to be a little more similar to this, right? If we're going to see some more sell off, right? Can we create a McDonald's M, right? That I'm not loving it M, like this one that formed this McDonald's arches and it dropped down, right? That would be not good. But actually, it would be good because, again, our greed index is just way too high, in my opinion. But it might lead us to a little bit longer of a correction. So either way, I'm looking for opportunities in the market as always, guys. I'm always looking for opportunities in the market. I'm never, um, never bearish long term on crypto personally, but that's just my personal opinion that I feel like I'm early into crypto. So maybe I'm not. Maybe we're late. I don't know. I don't think that Bitcoin is topped out yet. We just haven't seen a market top yet. And one thing that I was telling you guys is that real price action happens on a Thursday, and today's Thursday. And hopefully we could see a breakout. You know, we're already starting to see a little bit of possible double bottom here. And again, I'm just hoping, again, the Thursday thing is something that is only on this channel. I don't know that that is true. It's just an indicator, again, that I use. Again, possible double bottom here. This could be bullish. To 1 year chart, again, creating that bull flag that I was telling you guys about. And, it's interesting because Coinbase just got hacked today. And so it's just very interesting that we're still pumping regardless. The market just does not care, right? Bybit gets hacked and the market dumps. Coinbase gets hacked and we pump. Somebody said Bitcoin's next top will be around 160K. I don't know about that. I mean, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. We did talk about that golden ratio multiplier. We talked about the pi cycle chart. We talked about the stock to flow. We talked about a lot of those long-term indicators. If you guys have been watching, we've been talking about those. But at the same time, just because those indicators show that we are, not near a top yet, doesn't mean that's necessarily the case. Anything can always happen, right? Some people still thinking Bitcoin's target will be 100K. Interesting. We did talk about that 100K level, right? We said that there's a possibility of a 100K retest. But again, Thursday, right? Bull flag. Interesting. I don't want to see a rejection here. I want to see a breakout. Hard to say, right? Possible rising wedge here. We saw this rising wedge play out here. See how the price just kind of goes like that, and then it just starts to lose volume. We don't want to see that happen again, right? You see we had a rising wedge here. This could be a bearish pattern. At the same time, again, possible double bottom here. This could be a bullish pattern. So we have a couple different things, Then you go on the 1 month again, possible double bottom here. Also possible shoulder head, shoulder forming here, which is a bearish pattern. And then again, on this long-term chart, you got a lot of bullish activity going on in the 1 year, right? Cup and handle, bullish. Bull flag, bullish. Double bottom, bullish. There's like 3 bullish things on the 1 year. And I take those things into consideration when I look at the chart, especially the long-term indicators that are pointing to a positive direction. And so there's a lot of long-term indicators, including, again, our stock to flow, some of these more longer-term indicators that indicate that, again, we might still see some highs on Bitcoin, including, as a matter of fact, our Bitcoin logarithmic chart too. Yeah, we've been talking about the logarithmic chart and the fact that we just haven't seen a blow off top to this cycle yet. Maybe we do see a little bit of consolidation, but usually our cycle ends with like a blow off top. You see how we have this big climactic ending to our cycle? We just haven't had that. It's just kind of been boring price action, in my opinion. I mean, not boring, but I would say this is more like reminiscent of, again, what we've been talking about was Trump's last cycle, right? 2016 cycle. And I want to know again if we are creating a similar type of pattern, right? This, what would be an accumulation zone, possibly. Possibly. You know, things could always turn around. We don't know the future. I'm not telling you that that is guaranteed to happen. Again, there's a lot of things that are going on right now. There's a lot of bullish things that are going on. Trump going to Saudi Arabia and meeting with all these different people and talking about stocks and literally telling people to buy stocks. And then again, you get just hit with a Coinbase hack just the other day, or just today, really. So sending just a lot of uncertainty through the market, which again is not crazy bad because again, we were just way too bullish in my opinion. When everybody else is really greedy, I'm really fearful. When everybody else is really fearful, I'm really greedy. I try to be the opposite of the market sentiment. When people are just acting like this stuff goes on forever, that's usually when I'm like, okay, you know. But at the same time, guys, we could still be on our way to some new all-time highs with Bitcoin. And in my opinion, things are looking positive, guys. Things are looking positive. I'm not too concerned on the short term. Again, we did see decent break, but again, tomorrow's Friday, right? I would really like to see this thing pumping. And I just don't know that we're going to do that. It's already Thursday at like 9 o'clock right now. So we usually don't see a breakout on Friday. It's just not typical that we see a breakout on a Friday and then a bullish weekend. But it's possible. It's always possible, right? Anything's possible. It's just not normal that we see that. But then again, last weekend we saw a pump. So that's also not normal. Let's talk about some Toshi Coin. As you guys could see, Toshi Coin kind of moving with the market. Well, we were seeing some more red earlier today, but seems like it's possibly, starting to pick up with some of this volume that's coming through the market. Maybe, again, possible double bottom here on our RSI. If we can continue flowing on the 1 hour, on the 2 hour, looking like, again, also wedge forming here, double bottom here on the RSI. One thing I'd be paying attention to is this bottom Keltner channel. We talk about sometimes this could be a slippery slope when we start trending underneath this third level of this Keltner channel. Now we're going to have this upper level working as a zone of resistance. So you could see on like some of these, like you see how we like create this possible double top right here. We touch this second level twice, and then we create this little flagpole with a flag, and we reject it off the bottom level. And then now again, are we creating another bear flag? Another rejection could send this thing down. But at the same time, Toshi has also fell below this third Keltner channel before. And it's been a really good thing because, as you guys could see on some of these more longer term charts, when it's fallen below this third level, it's actually not a bad accumulation zone before a pump, right? Right here, same thing. Right here, same thing. Right here, same thing. So just because we're trending now below that third Keltner channel doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of the world. At the same time, we do just have to be a little bit careful. 4 hour looks like we might be recovering. We need to really start printing some green on this candle in order for this thing to stay looking solid, right? Each one of these candles represents 4 hours, and as you guys can see, just hasn't been getting a lot of volume, which is indicated here by the RSI as well. So I would just be looking for more volume, hopefully coming on Toshi. Hopefully, right? One day, kind of just chilling. But the question is, again, are we going to be able to build off of this, or are we going to drop down below? I told you guys that yesterday I needed to see 2 good closes, right? And we got 2 red closes, but this close is not closed yet, right? This candle's not closed, so anything could still play out. Again, we're still not looking terrible on some of these more longer term intervals, and so I'm not too concerned. As a matter of fact, our 3 days looking pretty nice. If we could just bounce off of this top level, only looking crazy. The 1 month. 1 month is telling me to have a little bit of patience with this, and that these things take patience. But as always, guys, this market is highly volatile. Anything can happen, as you guys could see just today. Coinbase getting hacked. This could be something that could be very bad for the market, right? This could definitely be something that can, be something similar to Bybit, right? We watched Bybit get hacked at like 96K. We dropped all the way down to like the sevens, right? 70 something, right? It was nasty. 74, something like that. So again, can, this be a shakeout? Can this be a bull trap? Or are we going to start sending? It'll be interesting to see. A lot of people, somebody's saying, short the rip, buy the dip. See you at 96 to 97. We're going long. Interesting. So he's saying that we're going to see a rejection and then we're going to see a retest of 96, 97, which is up under that 100K resistance level. Some people have been throwing around that 95 million or that 95K level of support. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. But again, I do like the fact that we're starting to simmer down a little bit on that fear greed index, because them boys was chomping at the bit. They were chomping at the bit. And some of them got wrecked. But that's what happens, guys. That's why I always tell you, be patient, and don't go all in. Stop going all in. Just because Bitcoin's about to reach a new all-time high, you feel like it could pump up. It's not mean to go all in. This could also, again, we've been talking about, be a rejection up here and another retest, right? It wouldn't be the end of the world. It wouldn't. If we drop down even to 100K, it wouldn't be the end of the world. As a matter of fact, I feel like it would be very healthy for Bitcoin to see a correction. I think it's very healthy that Toshi Coin right now is seeing a correction. Toshi Coin just went up like 167% or something crazy like that in the past week. So again, I don't think it would be bad if Toshi Coin did decide it wanted to correct down to some of these lower ranges. And some of these ranges may be kind of painful for some of you guys, like this 265 million range, or down here at this 225 million range, right? But at the same time, even if we drop down to this level, which is what I told you guys last time, when we dropped down here and everybody thought it was the end of the world, because we created this nasty pattern, and then we drop down under here. Even if we do drop down under here, guys, we are still in an uptrend. We are still flowing within these Keltner channels, and so I would not be concerned of a 225 Toshi Coin. As a matter of fact, I would be kind of stoked if that happened, to be honest with you, because I'm looking to buy this thing at the cheapest price possible. I still think this coin can go to $1 billion and much more if we have an altcoin cycle. It's definitely one of the top coins, even though, again, this is the Coinbase coin. I feel like Brian Armstrong's coin and his exchanges got hacked. Like, what the heck, man? I don't know. I've been getting so many text messages also, like text messages, phone calls, all kinds of people, like scammers and stuff like that. And really, this really started to me like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And so I feel like they're a little late on talking about this. I feel like maybe they tried to do some damage control or something like that. But it's just kind of crazy what's going on. I don't know if any of you guys have been getting the same problems. I was having problems getting into my Coinbase account. I was luckily able to get into it. Thank God. Got lucky. But it took me literally all day to be able to do it. And again, I'm glad that I was able to get in without needing support, because Coinbase support is a nightmare, man. Just absolutely a nightmare. But again, guys, this is why I always tell you guys, if it's not in your wallet, not your keys, not your crypto, right? Start keeping your coins in a wallet, guys. As a matter of fact, the best wallet to use is a hardware wallet, right? I will leave you guys a link below to a really good hardware wallet that I would recommend you guys use versus having your money on an exchange. As you guys could see by the Bybit hack, by the Coinbase hack, these exchanges are not safe places to keep your cryptocurrencies for long periods of time. Really, they're just places to cash out, and that's about it. But at the same time, you just have to understand that keeping your money on exchange has a massive amount of risk. The best place for your crypto is in a hardware wallet, because even these other external wallets like these other just wallets like MetaMask and um, all these other wallets, right? Phantom Wallet and all that stuff, they're still vulnerable to hackers and stuff like that. If you have a hardware wallet, you don't have to be as worried, right? So again, I do recommend hardware wallet. Ultimately, it's your decision where you put your money. I also think that keeping your money in multiple places is not a bad idea, especially those of you guys who have larger accounts. I don't think it's crazy to have a couple of different hardware wallets just in case one does get compromised, or have a couple of different wallets in general in case one wallet gets compromised. I am not a fan of keeping all your money on an exchange. I'm not a fan of keeping all your money on one wallet because things happen, guys, and this space is dirty and it's nasty, and I don't want to see you guys get wrecked. And if you have a little money spread out in different places, then you might have a better chance of staying in this game and being able to play catch up if anything ever does happen to any of you guys' stuff. Hopefully nobody was compromised on the channel and lost any significant money or anything like that. I heard it was like $400 million that was compromised in the Coinbase hack, but hopefully, again, nobody was affected by that because that's no good. And hopefully Coinbase gets it together. Hopefully it gets together and that they did not just screw up a good thing that we had going with this volume. But again, those are the things that I'm paying attention to, guys. This rising wedge, we got to start continuing up. This next couple hours is going to be very key for Bitcoin, in my opinion. We got to start seeing a close above 105. As you guys can see here, we got to get back above 105. We need to start printing some big green. Otherwise, again, we're going to start printing some big red because we got a rising wedge forming here, just like we had it forming here. And we need to start printing green here, or else we're going to see a breakdown in the market. Again, we don't want to see that because, you know, that's going to cause a lot of shorts to come in, right? These guys are playing the market too, right? It's an active market. It's a live market. You have to understand that. And some people get upset when I point out a bear trend, but at the same time, guys, I've swung trade, I day traded, I've scalped, all that kind of stuff. I know what these guys are looking for, right? So just understand that the trend is your friend, and you know, you can go against it all you want, but I don't think that's a good idea. I just look at zones of accumulation when I feel like I can get my foot in the water. At the same time, I don't know when things are going to break out. I don't know when if it's going to drop down another level. I don't know when it's going to, you know, decide it wants to pick up in volume. I just go by indicators. That's all these indicators are, guys. They're just indications of what could possibly happen. But at the end of the day, guys, this market is totally undecided, and it's really up to the market what's going to happen. So again, guys, I just give you guys the best I can. It's not financial advice. Don't go out and buy stuff just based off of things that I say. Do your own research, right? Educate yourselves. And again, I'm going to leave you guys a link to my hardware wallet just in case you guys are looking at ways to better, more safely secure your cryptocurrency. Don't make the same mistake a lot of people made. Don't make the mistake that I've made. Even I got caught up and made that mistake, and that's because literally I bought just the other day, and I just never moved my funds off of Coinbase. And again, Coinbase gets hacked. It's just bad timing. So just be careful with that, guys, and just understand that, again, if your coins are not in your wallet, then they're not your coins. So pay attention to that. Be safe out here, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.